devotion, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is defined as constant remembrance of God. That's called Bhakti. The constant remembrance is known as Bhakti. Now, you remember God, there what we have to understand is what is the wrong way of remembering God and what is the right way of remembering God. Remembering God for what He is going to do to you, that's negative. Remembering that Devata, that particular God, it could be anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, in what form it is, and all that. Anywhere you say God, I'm going to be remembering the divinity for what I want from that God. So here, the remembrance is not with reference to God, it is with reference to what I get from God, what He is going to give to me, what He is going to give, not what He has already given. Remembering God for what we have already received, for what you have got, for that you are grateful and remember God. That is true bhakti. The wrong form of bhakti is, that's what he says, this wrong method of remembering God is what He is going to give, what He is going to do to you. See, that's what the prayer is, he says. You see, prayer is not beggary. Page 211, last paragraph. Prayer is not beggary. Moreover, mere asking will not help. Yet people make selfish demands in their prayers without paying the price for them. They want to harvest without sowing seeds, eat without producing. The law of life is that you get what you deserve, not what you desire. You are rewarded by your work, not for your work. Work performed brilliantly need not solicit yet again. The work itself earns the reward. The same law holds good in the spiritual field as well. People make selfish demands in their prayers, beg for favors, implore with tears, but the unrelenting law of life has no room for weak pity. There is no weak pity here. The prayer, for us, prayer is taken as refined beggary. Give me this, give me that, do this for me, do that for me. And we take as though praying, asking God as a matter of birthright. Why? Because we say, I am your devotee, no? As though you are doing such a great favor to God that you are being His devotee is enough for Him to provide all that you demand. All that I am asking to you, you should fulfill that. After all, you are there only for that, right? That is a portfolio of God. We have given portfolio for everybody in life. You know, what he is going to do, what she is going to do, what this is for, what that is for. We have given, allocated portfolios. Like that, we have allocated one portfolio to God. What is his job? Whatever I demand, he should fulfill. All my prayers he is supposed to answer. And we don't even give freedom to give answer of his own. I will pray, you have to answer. Always your answer has to be yes. You see, always he has to be giving whatever I am asking. See, that's the job we have given. We believe as though it is our right. We have all the right to ask God. And these people talk high philosophy. If we cannot ask God, who else we can ask? Hmm? And that there also, we don't go to one God and fix there. It's not that. If this God is not, that God also. If he is not going to do, at least somebody else will do, no? Like the fellow who says, no, I had to, in the office, he gets a news that his mother is serious. He's been hospitalized. And he is rushing. As he is coming out, he just sees the picture of Balaji. And he says, Balaji, please save my mother. And he rushes, he gets into the car and he asks the driver to go fast. And the driver clearly can see he is so tensed. The boss is so tensed. And the driver asks, sir, what happened? He says, mother is serious, so go to that hospital fast. This man says, the driver says, don't worry, sir. This Manjunatha is there. Manjunatha Swami is there. He will save. Just take this prasad and ensure that you smear it on her forehead before she enters the operation theatre. And this fellow will not say, I have entrusted the job already to Balaji, he will take care. He will take that Manjunatha's vibhuti also. And he will take. Why? He says, he has no trust on Balaji, he has no trust on Manjunatha also, factually speaking. But he says, when you recognize the situation, when you start praying, think carefully. Prayer is not a beggary, he says, correct. But what is the first thing you have to think is, when do you pray? You start your prayers not in the very first step. You start your prayers, you look in the direction of God only when you encounter a situation which overwhelms you, which is beyond your powers to handle. Then you turn towards God and say, what? Now you take care. Now it is your turn. All this while I have done whatever I have to do. Now it is your turn. From innocuous things in life to the most important things also. You get an income tax notice, the bank says, you have to bring your KYC, bring your original PAN card. The bank says, for KYC, we need your original PAN card, not just a signed one. Get original PAN card also. You search for original PAN card, it's not there. What do? You search the whole house upside down. What happened to that PAN card? Where is the PAN card? Where is the PAN card? Search and search and search and search and search. You're not able to see. Suddenly that fellow says what? The lady says, Ganesha, please show that PAN card. right? And the tragedy, you know what? Or rather, not can't call it as tragedy. The real comedy of life is she says that and turns and opens the purse. The PAN card is inside. And immediately she says, what? Fantastic. Ganesha is the most powerful god in the world. Why? He showed that PAN card to me. And then what she does? She takes one coconut and breaks for Ganesha. Chutney. We know that evening there is going to be coconut chutney in the house. That's all it is. And the best part is she believes she is a great devotee. That's the best part. I'm just saying a lady, don't think it's the same rule for men also. Okay. I was, for example purpose, I'm saying lady. Now, don't think only ladies are like that. You mean to say men are all, don't start all that. You can start, but I'm not there to reply for that. Okay. There's advantage of online classes. The offline classes mean the people will be sitting there. They will immediately raise their hand and say, sir, why are you attacking only ladies always? It's the same thing, please. Whenever a situation goes beyond, when you feel that helplessness, after you have felt that helplessness, you start prayer. What will you pray? Your prayers is going to be only what? Begging. That's all it is. There's no difference. In the beggar in the street and the fellow in the temple, same thing. No difference. Only difference is here the begging is little sophisticated it looks. Many times that begging is happening in a different language. Therefore, you think it is something divine. Begging is begging, no matter which language you beg. You see, that's what he says. It's not beggary. This prayer, it's not beggary. What do you ask is the point. Because you believe God's portfolio is to provide things, you keep on remembering that God, whenever you have this, and then you say, I have done something in return. It's not that I am simply asking, sir, I am not a beggar. This is what we all believe. The difference between a beggar in the street and our prayer to God is, beggar comes, he begs, you give him, he goes. That is not what we do. What I do, I have broken that coconut. No. I go and give my hair. No. He will go and give their hair. In another temple, this Samaypuram, they sell this tin, not silver, tin, eye. These people pray to God. When they are in trouble, they say, I'll offer my eyes to you. Now, after the problem solved only, they realize what is that they have committed. They think, I had committed too quickly. Now what to do? I can't pluck my eyes and go and give it to God. Now what to do? Alternative. What is alternative? That is also not in gold. They prepare eyes and give to God. That also they buy what? The shops outside. You will find, they have this eye-like thing, they are prepared. With what? The tin material. The same tin material, they have prepared one. And this guy buys and goes and gives it to God. Says, take this as my eyes. Flower. Take it as this is the flowers, yes. As this. Cheating. He says, but his argument is, I'm not asking for free. You see, I am also giving something in return. I'm not simply asking, and I'm also offering God something. And then these people have a very high philosophy. Suddenly they'll talk all Vedanta. What can I offer to God? Everything is His. If you believe everything is His, why ask Him also? See, this prayer, the beautiful idea of prayer has been reduced to mere beggary now. Since I am your devotee, we believe that, and then this man says, not only I am being your follower, I am telling everyone to follow you also. I'm getting, more forwards. Like in Facebook you do, no? Instagram. Forwards you do, and then, ask others also to follow you. More followers I am bringing to you. Therefore, you should be happy, is what we tell God actually. God is so powerful. Not all gods are so powerful. If Balaji, if I believe as all powerful God, then what that fellow should have told the driver. But when you are in that situation, you will say it's okay. If that fellow, if the doctor were to say some other God, he will say, that God also I'll go. I've seen a lot of people, go to that Dargah, Chennai, these people will go to Dargah and, buy that thread. For that, these people will be standing. And the Amman temple, I have seen a lot of, Christians, Muslims standing also to get that also. Why is that? Doesn't matter, which God. I remember in Mylapore, very popular temple, everybody knows in Mylapore means immediately everyone will say Kapalishwara temple. There's a Shiva temple, Shiva Kshetra. Just, 200 meters, 500 meters away from that Kapalishwara temple is another Shiva temple, Karanishwara temple, in a dilapidated state. I used to go to that temple. People very close to me, he used to, ask me, Kabalishwara temple you should go. I said, why are you going to that temple? I say, same Shiva, no. This is also Shivalinga, that's also Shivalinga. Now, why? That Karanishwara is not so powerful God. Kabalishwara is a very powerful God. But Karanishwara is not a powerful God. Why he is not a powerful God? Why this God is not powerful? How do you know this God is not powerful? Look at the state of the temple. If that God were to be a powerful God, then the temple will be rich. If that God is rich, that God is powerful. If the God is poor, is a powerless God. The same equation we have with our own people also. Who is powerful, sir? A rich fellow is a powerful fellow. Poor man is powerless man. Same equation we have for God also. So any God who is rich is a powerful God. He has lot of, he's a great man. Why is a great man? Because there are, like in Facebook, Instagram, we have who is a big fellow, sir? YouTube. If you are having 1 lakh subscription, means you are a very big fellow. If you are having 200 fellow subscribers, useless. If you are not, if you are having only 100 people, then you are what? That's what Ramtirtha says. Truth ought not to be weighed by numbers, says. Truth is to be weighed independent of numbers. If numbers were to be the criteria, then Satan's religion has more followers. He is more powerful than God himself, actually speaking. Is it true? He said, no. God is more powerful than Satan. But then the followers of Satan are more. On what basis we decide which God to pray? You pray to God, but you pray to which God? Who you take as God? You go to God who is powerful. Obviously, beggar will go to whom? There you are standing. Next to you, there is another, white man where to be standing, let's say, one European, where to be standing, let's say. Beggar will go to whom you think? First. He will not beg you. He will go to the to the foreigner first. Why? Because according to him, that fellow is richer. That's all. It doesn't make any difference. You see, his belief is that. That's what he says. Prayer is not a beggary. Beggary means what? A beggar will go to whom? To a rich. Similarly, you go to which God? The God whom you consider as more powerful. Which God you will consider as more powerful? Wherever there is more crowd, where there is lot of people going, lot of followings there, you consider that as so powerful, so fantastic it is. What is so fantastic about it? There is number says. Now the God to whom we go to pray says, the focus is not on God. To a beggar, the focus is not on the donor. The focus is on the donation. Try that in Bangalore. I have done that 3-4 times, in fact. You give a 10 rupee coin, valid coin, to a beggar, he will return it to you. They will not take. I said, hey, 10 rupees, man. He said, who wants that? Take it. Says, it is RBI coin. It's a government coin. It's not I have printed that. It's not minted by me. It is government one. But you give that to the donor, he will return that to you. Why? There's no reason at all for that. Absolutely, there is no. In fact, it is criminal to do it. You know that, no? If someone were to say that I will not take your coin, you can sue them. You can challenge that. They have no right to say that because it is a valid coin. How can he not? He says, no, I will not take it. Why? He has no interest on the donor. His interest is only on the donation. Your focus is not on God. Your focus is only on what that God is going to bless you with. That's called beggary. He says, no, prayer is not beggary, which means we are begging. Yes. Now, what is beggary? Beggary means this, says. Means to whom you will go, with what attitude you go. The attitude is on what he is going to give me. And we believe, since I have asked, he is obliged to give. God is obliged to give. That is his job. He says, no, that is not the way it works. You are functioning against the laws of nature, laws of life, law of karma. What is the law of karma? The relentless law of karma is, he says, you are rewarded by your work, not for your work. Now we think in life, I get paid for the work that I have done, isn't it? One carpenter comes, he does the job, you pay to him for the job that he has done, correct? For that work only, for that products or for the services rendered by that person only, you pay. So we think that's what life itself is. Life's equation is very different from our man-made equations. Man-made equations is for the work. Life's equation is by your work. By your own work you do. You are not going to get what you desire. You get what you deserve in life. That is a law. The one who is enforcing that law is God. God is not a sakshi, not a witness. Witnessing God is not what is inspiring. That God is not a witness, please. God is a judge who is sitting there and giving judgment to you. You see, he's not a witness. God as a sakshi is not so interesting. God as a judge is the truth. God is a witness is our wish. We wish God is like a witness. Sakshi. He is just, being a witness to everything. Silent witness. God is not a silent witness, please. God is actually the enforcer of the law. His job is not that. He gives, he enforces it. That's what Shankara says. He says God is a karma pala dhata. He gives the fruit of actions. But the action has to be rendered by you only. Now, we wanted to keep the blessings, the benediction, the grace of the Lord independent of my effort, my work. Don't worry about my work. That's what he says. Just gods are not going to yield for weak pity. He says. They don't get into the weak pity. They strictly enforce the law which they have enacted. He has enacted the law of cause and effect. Now, if you have caused the cause, the effect has to reach to you. There is no, you can't escape. You have caused it. Therefore, you have to suffer the consequence of it. You have to enjoy the consequences of it. Depending upon what work, what karma you have done, what effort you had put in, what you deserve. Deserving is your effort. If you have conscientiously put in complete effort, there is no necessity for you to go and solicit. Solicitation is not required. It is automatic effect. It gets transmitted automatically. When you have done your work, you don't have to go and stand. Are you going to select me? Are you going to select me? Are you going to select me? Am I in the playing 11? Am I in the playing 11? When you are performing, when you are doing your job properly, it is impossible that you are not going to be selected. That's the law of life. The stone that is fit for the wall will never be found on the way. It's impossible. that mason will not leave it. He will take it and place it if it is fit. If it is not fit for the wall, it will be under. When you are lying in the streets, when you are in the way, understood is what? Understood is you are not fit for the wall. You are fit only for the steps. And they'll put you on the steps. That's about it. Now, wall will not be, is not your position. Now, it's not dependent on the mason. It's not according to the whims and fancies, the grace of the mason, please. If you are fit, he will place there. If you are fit for this, he will put you here. That's all it is. It's not according to his whims and fancies. Now, we want God to dismiss, overlook all those things and place me where I want to be placed myself. I will not put in that effort. You take me and place me there. You give me that. Is what our thing is. He is not going to be that. He gives what you deserve. The fruit that you deserve will come to you, independent of your things. That is what the system is. He is only the enforcer of that system. That's about it. Now, we don't want the Supreme Court judge. We want presidents who will dismiss the judgment given by the Supreme Court. Because we want him to pardon. Says what? I have committed that crime, but you have the powers to do that. No. They use that power and dismiss that judgment. Now, he is not president. He is a Supreme Court judge. He is a supreme judge. He gives the law of life. He says, is you get what you deserve, not what you desire. It's impossible. He says. And that's why he says, prayer is not a beggary. Then what is prayer comes later. Okay, now the way he is going about, I have told you already. What all the wrong ways we are approaching to Bhakti. What are the wrong practices we have in the name of Bhakti? One of the very popular practice we have in the name of Bhakti is prayer. There, you are factually challenging by your prayer, you are discounting the very essence of God. What is the very essence of Him? He says the very essence is He has given you a clear system and given all that is required for you to deserve. He has given you the equipments. He has given you that Karana, Bhuvana, Bhoga, everything He has given. He has given the equipments, He has given you the material, and He has given you the know-how also. Like, when you order, certain, furnitures, it comes self-fitting. You can fit it by yourself. You don't need a carpenter to come and fit it. There's no necessity. For which, what are the things they send? They send the material. Also, they send the screws and the screwdriver, everything they send. Along with that, they send the picture also. Right? What is that we want? All that they say is, you just have to fit all those things. You just have to see them and fit it. That's all you need to do. You don't have to create that furniture. You don't have to go and bring that wood, saw that wood and scrape it and shape it. All that you don't have to do. Everything He has done already. All that you have to do is fit them. That's all you have to do. God has given all the rules. He has made the universe with the rules, and he has given you the necessary equipments to get whatever you want in the world. All that you have to do is what? Work, deserve it, put in your effort. Our fellows, what we do, we just put that lukewarm effort. It's not that we are not putting in effort. Remember that. That's not 90% of us. It's don't fall into the category of no effort at all. That's a very, very marginal category. No effort is not our things. Things is we put in effort, but that lukewarm effort itself is considered by us as though we have put in some extraordinary effort that is needed, effort that is expected. When you push that screw, you got to fully tighten it. You cannot push it and do two turns and then leave it and expect that chair to sit firm. It will shake. In fact, it will break. The moment you sit on it, it will break. And then you blame the pepper fry. Pepper fry provides all useless substandard services is what is being done. Immediately you start putting up in the comments column there. Why? That's what he calls as beggary. Yes. Beggary means what? Means a beggar is one who doesn't work to get it. He just wants that without putting in any effort. Now, in our cases, we will say exactly like these beggars who come. You ask them, okay, I will give you a job. Will you do it? I know how many of you have asked. Just like that, ask them. See, there are people who cannot do anything. I'm not talking about those cases. There are a lot of cases where they have a problem with reference to the very capabilities of them. They are not capable, but strictly speaking, that is no excuse. After reading that, story of this girl who climbed Mount Everest without legs, none of us have any excuse after that. We cannot get any excuses for anything in the name of I am not capable of. You see, it is not possible. Physically, is that effort. If you that's the effort that is expected. In spite of that, I say still there is a marginal group is there who are, one look at them, we can identify they are incapable of doing anything. Physically, I'm not talking about their laziness and all that. This. Now, those who have that, you ask them, would you like to take up a job? They say, I get better returns here. How much you will pay? He says, how much you pay? I get more returns here than how much you will pay to me. For that, I have to work so much. Here, nothing. Beggar attitude is this. Is no effort. We don't go to that extent with reference to God. But still it is treated as beggary only. Why, sir? Because our efforts are so minimal, so lukewarm, but we expect that lukewarm effort to produce the desired result. And it is not produced. When the results are not produced by your efforts, when your efforts have failed to produce the result, that is a time you turn to God. At that time, when you go to God, what you ask God? What are you going to ask Him? You are having more power than me, no? That's what God is. God means he has supreme power. You have that superior power. That superior power should come down and satisfy my desire. So the superior power is there only to come. Now, prayer is a methodology, is the path, is the way we invoke the divine to come down and bless us. That's all. So finally, what we are going to do is what? I am not going to do anything. And don't mistake this with this total Saranagati and all that, please. Okay, that is a very different one. Right? That we will see later. When we go there, I will explain that. Right? Complete surrender. The total surrender also will appear like that. But our condition is not like that. We say, that's why we say, when you go for prayer, when you pray, the prayer itself we start only when we get in, he says, which is challenging the very design of the designer. Not only that, there are other aspects also there. Like you are challenging the Sarvagya status of God, all knower. God by nature, what is he, sir? He is all-knowing, all-pervading. Right? Now you go and tell him, please do this. As though he is your servant. Hey, do this, do that. Only difference is what? You say that politely. That's all it is. Only difference is the tone is slightly different. By changing the tone, you are not changing anything, please. In fact, you are far more cunning in nature. That's why suddenly you become very polite. Your politeness is not because of anything else. Politeness is your diplomatically you are putting it. Politically you have to be correct. Diplomatic relationship technique, PR skills demands what? When you are asking something from people, say, please. Can you get me a glass of water? Please, can I have a glass of water? And the person gets so satisfied, he comes. And you think is the same way I will do with God also. That's prayer, we say. It says that's not prayer. This is one aspect. Then he moves to another dimension of devotion, where we are faltering in devotion. Yes. Devotion today has come to mean mere superstitious centering of love in personalities, blind reliance on rituals, and unquestioning faith in idols and places of worship. People are attached to their own creeds, involved in their own sects. They restrict themselves to a particular idols and have lost their Catholicity of religion. The minds of so-called religious people are plagued with a strange fear, an uncalled for anxiety, and a vain hope centering around an unknown God. And they direct their desperate feelings towards holy bodies and idols, relics and rituals. Such devotion reaches one as far as those outward forms and places go. No further than that. Idols have no doubt a place and purpose in spiritual practice. But few realize that an idol is meant to reach the ideal, and that an idol is not the ideal. The idol has no meaning or purpose without an ideal. It is a means to an end, not an end in itself. Not realizing this, most practitioners in the devotional path are stuck to their idols with no concept of the ideal it stands for. A devotee may use an idol only to reach the ideal, but he must go beyond the manifest form or person to gain the unmanifest reality. An idol may be a living person or an inert object, substantial or insubstantial. It is meant to represent the ideal that is sought, like a national flag for a nation. The flag is the ideal used to develop national consciousness, the ideal set for the people. Imagine a person with a deep regard and respect for his flag. He uses it faithfully for national ceremonies and conventions, while he engages his time in anti national activities. Such is the state of devotional people today. They stick to idols, hang on to personalities, get addicted to ceremonies and rituals, run after pilgrimages to places of worship. With no sight of an ideal, they miss the soul of prayer and worship. They take the husk and throw the grain away. Now, what is missing, he says? What is missing in the process? In devotion, the soul of devotion is a prayer and the idol. Now, both the places we have messed up, he says. The crux of devotion is these two aspects: prayer, worship, and the idol. Either case, we have made a blunder. With reference to prayer in worship, what mistake we have made, he said. Now he is moving to the next aspect of bhakti, devotion, which is the idol. We just holding on to the idol is like you're just holding on to the dead carcass. The man is gone. You're holding on to the body. There's no meaning to it. You see, the juice, the soul, the personality is gone completely, has disappeared. Now you're just holding on to the idol, or you're holding on to some personality, or you get addicted to performance of certain rituals or certain ceremonies. That's all. And the best part of it is, when you say bhakti, when you say devotion, every religion has recommended all these things. It's not a religion, not a spiritual master in the world had ever existed who has not recommended any one of them. Every religion has certain personalities or idol. It's impossible that you are not going to have either a personality or an idol. Buddha, who was against all that, the followers did what? Erected an idol for him, made him God now. So Buddha has become God now. That's all. That's the same thing. Or some personality. Some personality, some guru, some prophet, some master, some personality becomes so important. That's all. Now, that personality worship, Guru Paduka Stotram itself we have. Not for Guru. Not for, that's a different thing. These people say you have to worship not him, worship his chapel. There's a separate stotra only for his worship of it. His slippers you worship. Hey, The shoes alone you can't be worshipping. Now here we have a separate stotra, very inspiring one. You know, beautiful one that is. And we have ceremonies. Now so many ceremonies are there. Recommended, you have to perform those things. You have to do all these things. All this is recommended by every religion, and he says all that we are doing is wrong. We are doing it wrongly. He is not saying it should not be there. Remember that. Now, many people have interpreted it that way. He is not saying it should not be there. He says you are performing, you are relating to all those things in the wrong way. What is the mistake? There is only one mistake. The fundamental mistake is we have forgotten the context of those idols, rituals, ceremonies. The context is forgotten. What is the context? The best part is this. The context of the ritual itself is, the context of the idol itself is to remind you of the ideal. Right? It's like Mullah Nazruddin, the Sufi saint. He's a saint. This man. Amazing personality. Mullah Nazruddin was frantically, searching something. He's doing something, he's doing this, and all those things, and he's telling his wife, something, what did I tell you? Did I say this? Did I say that? Did I say that? She said, why? What happened? He said, see, I should not forget. Whenever, I get something very important, I have this practice of putting a knot in my dhoti. They'll put a knot in my dhoti. So when I see the knot, I remember, oh, I have to do that. So I had put the knot. The fact that I had put the knot means something very important I'm supposed to do. Right? I forgot. Now I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to do. She said, it's okay, no, come to sleep. He said, no, something very important. He said, hey, it is 10 o'clock, man, come to sleep. He said, no, something very important I'm supposed to do. So that, because it's very important. Otherwise I wouldn't have put that knot. He said, man, it is 11:30, 12:30. And then she went off to sleep. 2 o'clock, it flashed for Mullah. Why he put the knot? I should go to bed early. This is what he put it for, this fellow. Because he had put that, he forgot. Yes. That's exactly our condition actually. See, the idols itself we have to remind us of the ideal. That we have forgotten. Now, what is the plight of humanity? What to tell? I don't know. We cannot be remembering that ideal directly. We cannot relate to that ideal. We cannot relate to God. We cannot relate to the divinity, consciousness, whatever you call it. You cannot contact it. You cannot be remembering that on your own. Therefore, they created so many things. This practice is what I really love, in Islam. Every 3 hours you have to go for prayer. Every day. Finished. How can you forget God after that? Is what Muhammad taught. Poor man, he doesn't know about our amnesia. You see, we will go to that thing, we do the prayer, but we will not remember God. His thought was, in another religion they say 3 times a day you have to do prayer. That's all different. It doesn't make any difference, please. This is nothing to do with the number of times. Even if you keep it, you have to do it every day. So many times you have to do also. Still, that link is gone completely. Now, if that idol is not going to be triggering the memory of the ideal, why I need that idol? I need that idol only because I am not able to remember God on my own. Right? Since I am not able to remember God by myself, he says, so Ananya Chinta, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, he says, in the Gita. It's a beautiful verse. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Vejana Paryupasake. Tesham Nityavayuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, he says. All that you have to do is what? Maintain that Ananya Chinta, no other thought, constant remembrance of God. I am not able to do that. This is what's supposed to be. Saint Tyagaraja is supposed to have written 24,000 songs. Apart from that, this man had chanted that Ramanama 100 crore times. I don't know how he managed. Every, his lifespan you take, and waking hours you keep, sleeping we cannot account, waking hours, breathe in Rama, breathe out Rama, still it falls short of that much. Then how he managed to maintain that smarana, constant remembrance? That chintanam is not possible for us. It doesn't come. Naturally it doesn't come. Effortlessly it doesn't come. On its own it doesn't come. By ourselves we are not able to do. To help us to remember that we are supposed to do that is where they have created that idol. That's where these ceremonies have come. That's where this rituals have come into picture. So you perform the rituals, you do those ceremonies, you decorate that idol, Ganesha Chaturthi, you do all that. You remember only what? Ganesh Chaturthi, when I say, remembrance is only what? Modaka. Like you say, Tirupati, remembrance is what for you first? First thought is what to you? Balaji. One fellow says, Jargandi. One of the class, Tirupati, what do you remember? Now he said Jargandi. I said, that's fantastic. Because we have to evolve faster, Go fast, grow fast. Grow as fast as possible, man. That's what he's saying, Jargandi. He's not asking you to go away from God. He's saying, go to God faster. He says, Jargandi. He is not going away from God. He's not saying, get out. They should stand the other side and say Jargandi. Only mistake is that. They're standing this side and saying Jargandi, therefore you think it is like that. That's not the concept. It's to go to God faster. Bhakti is to remember the constant presence of God. That's called Bhakti. To recognize His presence everywhere, like Prahalada, who saw His presence everywhere. You see, that is Bhakti. Now, what do we do, sir? We take the idols, but we just stuck to the idols and do all activities, everything against the ideal. That's why he gives a beautiful example. You have that national flag and do all anti-national activities. The national flag should represent what? That's a beauty. National flag represents what? The master said national flag represents this dharma. What is the dharma? All purusharthas covered in our national flag. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is our national flag, he says. You should see that. You know, the three varnas represent what, sir? Artha, kama, moksha. Peace. Joy. Peace. That is white. Green is what, sir? Produce. Greenery. Everything is so green. Green light means what? Production. It is going better. Stock market is getting better. Green. Growth. Productivity. Artha. Moksha is the saffron. The fire represented by this symbol. Saffron. The center of all these three is dharma. That's why they have put the dharma chakra in the center. That's the ideal. Now, I'm not saying, it depends on our interpretation. It has nothing to do with, this is what it is. One fellow gave a better interpretation. How it should be. He got confused. Hey, it is saffron, white, green, or green, white, saffron. Which is order it is? It's simple. How do you eat? First, you put a green color plantain leaf, right? Green color. On top of that, you put white rice. Correct? Correct, sir. And then you pour sambar, which is red in color. That is his ideal. His ideal is what? Food. Glutton. To him, you can't say dharma, artha, kama, moksha, you can't tell him. Nor can you tell him this is unity in diversity. All this you cannot talk to him. You have to talk to him the language of what? Leaf, rice, sambar. Correct. That's what ideal is. You have to know what that triggers in you, what it reminds you of. This, if that link is not there, then it is meaningless exercise. Then what are you doing? Like all of us sitting here, it's a good time pass. Vedanta class is what's a very good time pass. Because you don't know how else to pass your time. Corona, lockdown, now the second wave is coming, another lockdown, let's prepare. Suddenly we see a lot of people coming to class now. Right? And once that thing opened up, it dropped. Now we see suddenly, there's a surge. There's more people coming for the class now. Why now? Second lockdown is anytime it can start, sir. Pastime, that's about it. You go to this one, you go there, you get attached to some personalities, some creed, some group you get involved with. Then you say, that's it. Their own sex. That's what he says. You get involved with his own sex. This. Remembrance. That's why they say, easiest way to remember God is through music. They say. Music is the easiest one to remember. Constant one. Is it? Beautiful one way to, simple way of doing it is that. Is music. But you can go to music. You can go to a music concert. You can see a musician singing also. And they sing also very well. But if that is not remembered, right, he can sing. Chakkani Raja, Margamulundagala, you can say. Right? Brova Bharama, you can see, he can sing. He can just sing, Nagumomu, he can sing. But if the link is not established, then it is sheer indulgence. That's about it. Like you go to this music, another person goes to another music. That's all it is. Now, one person goes and listens to Michael Jackson. Okay, I've seen people go into this bhajan and tears flowing. I don't know how many of you have seen. I used to attend. Many a times, eyes gets really moist. You are singing. It is so nice to experience that. You see people going to Michael Jackson concert, there also people cry. You go to bhajan, you cry. You go to Michael Jackson, you cry. What's the difference? That is also crying, this is also crying. There's no difference here, please. When it makes a difference. But when Tyagaraja sings, Rama, why are you angry with me? What wrong I have done? When he says, Chalamelara ho Rama, says, it is, he is so scared, he is so concerned, he is so worried, as though Rama is angry at him. When he says, Entaro Mahanubhavulu, says, for the scores of great masters, my salutations. That is coming from a different connection. You see, that remembrance of that has to be there. If the remembrance is not there, means, it has no meaning. Like few years back, one of the, the Sunday morning we used to have class. Hardly I do it, but sometimes we just have to, it just comes out. Explained, don't ask me where is it and all that, okay? I'm not going to tell all that to you people. Okay. There is a ceremony being, done. The death ceremony they do. That, that rice balls, they keep. For this, every ball that you keep, the rice ball that you keep, you say one thing and keep that rice ball. You say one and keep the rice ball. I was explaining that. And 3-4 people started crying in the class. They're in tears. And I've seen fellows asking that priest to do that faster. Sir, office phone. Have to go to office. Do it faster. Yes. You see, that feeling is, that connect is completely gone. It says, this morsel of food I am giving to you, for what? For you held me in your womb. What all I did to you. And he gives the list of what all that fellow has done when I am inside your womb. How much you had to suffer. One by one he says, and he keeps that pinda. For that, what I can give, all that I can do right now is just keep that plain rice. No sambar. You see, no sambar, no chutney. That also is like, to be held together as one rice ball you keep. How can you? What is the service that I have received? and what I'm giving to you, is there any match? Can you ever pay off the debts? Without attachment, you perform. Without this gratitude, you perform. Without, if it is directed, if the ceremonies were performed, without all this, then why are you performing the rituals? Is because of fear, not out of gratitude. Fear. Why? They will curse you. Suddenly they'll get enough power to curse you. Your father and mother will curse you. Your grandparents will curse you. Therefore, what you have to do? Give this. What bhakti is that? What devotion is this? Yes, the idol should remind you of the ideal. That ceremony, that ritual should connect to the particular feeling that it is supposed to evoke. If you are not triggering that emotion, then it's just mechanical performance. It's just an addiction, he says. You're addicted to performing those ceremonies and rituals. That's about it. Like one fellow is addicted to drinks, you are addicted to ritual. That's all the differences. There's no big difference. And we think this is superior. We are doing something great. There is again a blunder in the path of bhakti. So two blunders he has given here, two aspects. The juice of the crux of bhakti, prayer, idol. In both, how we are making a blunder is what he has explained now. More we'll see in the next class. Thank you. Hari Om.